So well, hello, and let's get straight into this. So, as you can see, we have Kinetic's Ea-6B Prowler from the Playboy Squadron, and well, in 1/48th. And it also includes a pull tractor, which, as you can see, I was very ecstatic about. So, well, let's get on with it, shall we? The first step in the assembly of the full kit was the cockpit assembly, as comes with most aircraft. So it came with what I'd like to call a tub, with then the rear and front control panels that had to be put in. So the Ea-6B is the A6E Intruder's slightly bigger brother, with 4 seats instead of 2. And interestingly, there is only one pilot out of the 4 crewmen, which, well, I found odd first because I looked inside the sprues and there was just one steering column and pedals, and I wondered, did I lose a piece or something? But well, after further research, it comes out the rest are just weapon operators. So a fact there, I guess. Moving on to the rear, you can see that there's a lot of radar screens that had to be later printed on, as well, Kinetic did not supply you with any decals for the cockpit, which I found slightly annoying, but you know, I guess it gave me a practice for my hands when painting smaller things. So as you can see, the ejection seats are first made up of these 2 little parts, or just the main body, and then it has all the cushioning and other small parts such as the pull tabs, and so added to it also the rail at the back, which well allows the seat to go up and out. Obviously I had to make 4 of these because well, there's 4 crew in the Ea-6. And well, looking at the size difference between these and my Su-25UB in 1/32, it was quite noticeable. So all the details at the rear of the cockpit were added, and well, those wires and so on at the back were very good for what is about to come, which is cockpit painting. So we obviously first prime in black and then add a coat of sky grey X, if I don't want to mistake, so I'm not going to give you a number, but time is sky grey. Then the seats are also primed in black. And the gear bay was primed in black with white sprayed over it. So here's that painting that I was talking about. It's obviously not the best, as well, my hand isn't the most steady in the world, but I tried my best. As you can see, I used a variation of yellow, red, blues, greens, peaches, whatever I could find. And as you can see here, this ejection seat. So I really liked actually attempting the yellow on the pull tabs, the yellow and black stripes, so it just looks nice in the end, I guess you can say. And here a bit of the extra wiring in the gear bay was painted up. So onto the fuselage construction we go. And well, obviously again I did not record myself gluing the fuselage halves together because it's, well, not even just 2 parts, because you have to sandwich the whole canopy in there, cockpit, the gear bay, and then that like long part that came along with the gear bay, so it was kind of complicated. So anyways, we swiftly move on to the intakes, and these just came in 3 parts. And well, were pretty easy to construct. As you can see, to the left or back of the intakes are either side are the ladders for the crew access, which one was left open later and the other was left closed. So onto wing construction we swiftly move. And well, since I wanted to do the folded up version, these had to be cut. And yeah, Kinetic give you the full wing, and as you can see with this saw right here, I just cut through it. You know, make sure to label parts so you don't lose it, but they just tell you to cut. So, well, through I went. Obviously it's not the cleanest process, and you could probably use something a lot finer than that, but you know, it was my first attempt, so I'd call it good. So anyways, here I was trying to point out some mistake that Kinetic made, which, well, stupid of me, because I cut off the edge of these flaps or whatever this is, and used then the extra plastic sheet to make it again, as you know, it was a missing detail, but I just came out that I just glued it wrong, and it should have been on the outside, not the inside, so, well, there was no need to cut it off. So that's a mistake of mine. So anyways, I used super glue to glue the flap here, as well, I just wanted it to stand solid and not collapse, even though, as you can see here, it's falling out, even though super glue should give it a relatively quick drying time. But then I used modelling cement on the sides to make it even more sturdier. So the wings were glued on. I had to use a tiny bit of putty to fill some seams, but as you can see there, it was just a bit of green stuff, as it was a rather large seam, but then it was just sanded slightly down, and yeah, in the end it doesn't look too visible, or at least to my eye. So the next step were the rear stabilizers, or vertical stabilizers, and these had these nice little circle locating holes, which, well, you had to hold the stabilizer long before it went in without rotating, but in the end it gave good fit. So here's what I'm talking about with using polystyrene sheet to, you know, fix what I screwed up, but in the end it's not too visible, although I could have trimmed it to size and shape, but it didn't turn out the worst. So onto painting we go, which is, I predict, the longest part of the video. So it was primed in black, regular black primer. The cockpit was obviously masked off, and weights were added to the inside using screwdriver bits. Pretty ghetto, but well, that's all I had. So the canopy, which did not come with any mask, was also masked off using liquid mask. Some really contrasting light blue was added as a, how would you say, highlight for the grey, and in the end it didn't turn out too visible, but in some areas you can see through it. So anyway, since the canopy had to be black, here is that satisfying reveal with the liquid mask and Tamiya masking tape. In other words, my first homemade mask. Obviously, if you don't want to watch this, then go make yourself some tea or whatever now and pause, but you know, just appreciate my first attempt. Obviously it's not the cleanest, but so, well, one mistake I did make was only using liquid mask on this front piece, and as you can see here, a lot of the black got into areas where I don't want to, and especially here where it got through and fogged up. So, well, I guess you could call it a good attempt for tinting the canopy, but not so much for just rather masking it. So here we are with everything painted, and don't worry, on my next video planned, I have recorded the whole painting process, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that, because, you know, I do see that many people, you know, want to watch a full painting video instead of just me revealing it, so, you know, let me know if you want to see that. So anyways, as I showed there, I used some wave scissors to mask off the white demarcation stripe between the grey and the white, and then yeah, so the decals were added, as you can see also. And I tried adding all the stencils I could, just some of them weren't really too visible on the white, so especially the yellow ones, so it's probably not, so you know, my work is probably not going to show too well on the camera. So well, the final step was weathering. And for the white at the bottom, I used Tamiya's dark brown accent panel liner, or in other words, an enamel wash. This was added, I tried adding it not too heavily, as I wanted to make this aircraft seem, you know, used but not abused. And the excess was then, with white spirit, blended into the panels, or just away. So here is how that looked after everything was blended, and well, it's not the worst. As you can see, there are some pretty good looking parts, but then again, I think I can even from here see some parts where I forgot to blend. My mistake there. But you know, overall this part won't be too visible, so I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And for the grey at the top here, sorry for my hand being in the way for most of this clip also, by the way, I used Ammo's Night Black PLN or something like that, Black Night Wash or whatever it's called, to add contrast to the grey. And I probably should have left it to dry for a bit longer, as I left for like 10 minutes, which ultimately resulted in not much of it being there. Well, not even seen, just not being there after I wiped it off. So that's another part where I missed, where it was my mistake, but you know, something for the future to know. So as I said, only around a couple areas can you see that wash in the end. You know, on the bottom of the wing it looks better, but ultimately not much of that would be seen. So, well, the final steps, which is mainly the final assembly. So to end this, we had to give the bird something to stand on, didn't we? Which was the gear wheels. These are just super glued in place as well, it has to support the whole weight of the plane, and well, we are done. So I know this, and in my late videos I haven't been showcasing much, but I have made some changes to the studio and I have been recording a lot more lately. So with what I have pre-recorded already now, it's obviously not going to be, it's going to be around the quality of this, which is about 1 or 2 more videos, which I'll try to release in just the next upcoming week to get it off the waiting list and just get it done. So yeah, well, if you enjoyed this, then please let me know below and have a good one. Bye bye.